Everyone wants to grow on Instagram, but most people have no idea why they're making content. Back in the day, Instagram used to be everyone's public diary, posting the hottest photos and videos of themselves, and everything was in chronological order. But now, it's a full-blown business tool, and it's a place where you can complain and wish they would just bring back the old Instagram. So now it's 2025. Maybe you started a business or you're finally getting serious about social media, right? Maybe you even have an old Instagram account that you haven't posted on in years. And you're probably thinking,
what should I do?
Should I just post on this Instagram account or should I make a new one? What's better? There's so many different people telling you, oh, do this, no, do that, no, do this. From my experience, this. What makes me different from everyone else over there is I'm getting my facts and information straight from the CEO of Instagram and from case studies that my agency has done. And now you're probably thinking, who's this pink-haired girl and why should I listen to her? Well, I'll tell you. My name is Alex Draknik and I run a social media video production agency called DRAX Social. And we specialize in short form videos that actually go viral and make you money on every social media platform. I've been on social media for 15 plus years, since I was 13 years old making little skits at my parents' house, which then led me to work in the television and film industry in Hollywood, and I was Local 600, which means I was in the camera union, and I've been working simultaneously on social media accounts for various brands, personal brands alike, and I've made them go viral every single time. And I'm gonna teach you actual updated secret sauce formulas that I'm using currently in March, April of 2025. Because let's be real, Instagram updates their algorithm like every 2 hours at this point, but I've got some secret stuff that actually works and you're gonna wanna know. All right, I've rambled too much in this intro. Let's roll the tape. Half of you watching are probably like, what tape? Step one, why are you making content? You need to figure out, are you promoting a product? Are you selling a service? Are you trying to get people to subscribe to your newsletter? What is your why? Figure it out. And if you're sitting here being like, what's my why? Press pause on this video and go write it down. I'm gonna watch you while you write it down. Did you write it down? Okay, good. So one of our clients was called Paloma. They were an online dating service in the Bay Area, and they hired us to start their social media strategy from scratch, which is honestly my favorite because then it gives us free reign to run with ideas. We know that this is a dating service, so what's our why? Our why is to make content that persuades people to sign up for this dating service. How, you ask? Well, we decided to do man on the street interviews, and we interviewed random couples on the street about their love stories. And this content spread love, positivity, and it showed, hey, if you sign up for this dating service, you could also be happy just like these couples. And just so you know, that Paloma account, we started from 0, and I think it's at like 39,000 followers now. And one of the biggest videos has 16 million views, but I'll get into more of that later. And when I say find your why, I'm essentially saying, what's your niche, right? But everyone and their moms is like, you must find a niche. I go deeper. I'm like, what's your why? Why? For me, on my personal side, my why is I just want to entertain people and create content. But also, I found out that when I create content on my personal account that's comedy, it brings in followers who sees my business, and then they hire me because they saw how successful I was at making my own content. See where I'm going with this? Here's a few tips for finding your why. Identify what you're passionate about, align it with something valuable for your audience, and be specific, because vague messaging does not convert to followers. So let me ask you again. What's your why? Step 2, know your audience. If you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. Knowing who your content is for is just as important as knowing why you're making it. And no, your audience isn't just everyone. It's a specific group of people who relate to your messaging and need your offering or need your product or whatever you're doing. Who are they? What kind of problems do they have? And what kind of content are they already consuming? These are the questions you need to answer before you even start making content. Seriously. Back to our example, Paloma, the dating service. We wanted to target single people between the age of 21 to 55 in the Bay Area who are looking for love. So now that I know that target audience, I can start to do some research and figure out where those people live on the internet already. What are they interested in? What kind of content they're watching, etc. And it might still seem like a broad target audience, but it's not everyone. And that's important. You're probably like, okay, we get it. Find your why, find your audience, what's next, get to the good stuff. Hold up, I'm getting there. Step 3. Wow, you made it. Good job. Do your research. If you want to grow fast on Instagram, you need to look at what's already working. And then do it your way. The first thing you should be doing is looking at your competitors. What kind of videos are they making? What's working and what's not working? Then go research within your niche and see what types of things are trending. And once you've done all this research, throw that knowledge away. Because listen, you're not here to copy, you're here to stand out. The mistake I see so many people make is they'll go and copy a trend, word for word, shot by shot, thinking it'll go viral. But hey, guess what? That trend was already made and done like that, and it's already gone viral. So you're just a copycat. And I'm sorry to say, but you're not the original. So it's just not as funny. Because honestly, the biggest accounts aren't the ones just following trends. They're the accounts that are doing original content. And don't freak out, it's not as hard as you think. You need to start scrolling on social media and Instagram and start getting into the zone of what type of content you want to make. And you might not get it on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 20th try. I didn't. It took me posting 20 Russian videos before it took off. If I had stopped at 19, maybe my life would have been completely different. And this is where testing content comes in handy. So, let me break it down for you. It is 2025, and these are the types of content that I know for a fact is working right now because it's worked for me and it's worked for my clients. Storytelling and behind the scenes content, man on the street interviews, real podcast clips or fake setup podcast clips, Snapchat style videos where you use the Snapchat bar. I see a lot of people go really viral for that. We actually just helped one of our clients use that strategy and she went dumb viral within her first 3 videos. Another type of content that works really well is doing the Snapchat into cinematic camera mode. The video will start as if it was shot with an iPhone and then we'll go into a nice cinematic look. That works really well too. Like having 2 different types of camera mediums, clutch. If you're gonna do trends, pick and choose which ones you're gonna do and make them extremely original. Another type of content is memes. Meme marketing is huge, using the CapCut memes or making static memes and turning them into videos. Another tip I have for you is trial reels. Instagram launched trial reels, and what it is you can post a reel as a trial reel. And what it does is it doesn't post it on your actual Instagram feed, but it sends it out to an audience that has never seen you before. So your videos are being pushed out to people who don't actually follow you yet. And if the trial reel starts to do well, Instagram will notify you that you should post it. And I've had a few trial reels do really, really well. It's a nice little hack. And also I found out that you can just post endless trial reels. So if you're someone like me who already has kind of a big following, I'm just reposting my already viral videos on trial reels and attracting a new audience who hasn't seen me before. Or maybe they have and they never clicked follow. But trial reels is something I really am pushing my clients to use, and I don't think a lot of people know about it. For this example, I'm gonna use this account we worked on called Surprise. We made the accounts from scratch, and when we were doing our market research, at the time, man on the street interview videos were super popular. Like they were just popping off. So we said, hey, our target audience for this surprise box, it was a box and an app all in one. Our target audience was couples. Young couples between the ages of like 20 to 40. So what we did is we went out in public and we found couples and interviewed them in front of each other. And when we went to editing, we only edited in the questions they got wrong. So if we asked, hey, when's your anniversary? And the guy couldn't remember it while talking to his girlfriend, then that was a funny response. And the very first video we posted of this series got like 13 or 14 million views. And we were like, all right, cool. And the golden rule for you guys is if it works once, it'll work again and again and again. So keep going and make it a series. What I'm trying to convey with that example is we took a style of content, which is man on the street interviews that everyone does. But we did our own twist where we interviewed couples and then edited in only the wrong answers to make it our unique style. And it fucking worked. We gained that account 40,000 followers in 60 days. It was awesome. But before we found out that these interviews were the way to do it, we tried out different types of content. And I think it took about like 20 videos before we got here. You can't get discouraged and you just gotta keep grinding until you figure it out, but you will figure it out. Step 4, create a content strategy. You're probably like, Alex, are you serious? Like all we're doing is just talking about like, do this thing and do this thing and do this thing. Yeah, well, guess what? The reason people hire our agency to do their content is this part right here. The strategy is the hardest part. It's what makes up like 50% of your video. Everyone thinks it's like strategy, shooting, editing, posting. It's like 25%. It's not. If you have a very successful strategy and you spend a lot of time on it at the beginning, it will make everything else easier. Your strategy should be the place that you're coming up with the titles, the concept, who's in it, everything, the scripts, everything. So that way, when you are done with the strategy, you can go shoot it. Your producers will know how to shoot it, or you'll know how to shoot it. Maybe you don't have producers. And then your editors will be so clear on what you want done that you don't even need to think twice. So your strategy is very, very, very important. And it's why people hire us to do it. Viral content isn't random. Every big creator has a strategy. Sure, for a lot of creators, it might have started out as random, where they made videos and it went viral. But once you get a taste of virality, you know that if you want to keep up with it, you need to continue what was working. Whatever is working, stick to it. And I can guarantee you that every single big creator stuck to a strategy from that point on. I was one of them. When I started to see that my Russian Sasha comedy series was starting to work, I was like, ooh, I really need to keep up with this. And I started writing out all my scripts in more detail way ahead of time. I had so many scripts written like 10, 20 videos ahead because I wanted to make sure that the strategy was aligned. And it worked. I hit 1 million followers on TikTok in 1 month because of that. And you can too. And what I mean by a strategy is going back to your why. If you're just making random content, a dance video, a story time video, a man on the street video, but there's no consistent theme or like niche or anything, then it's not really gonna do anything for anyone. There's no strategy to it. You need to have a strategy. And the best way to create a consistent strategy for you is to think about your content buckets. Now, I know you've heard so many other social media people be like, do you know your content buckets? But realistically, what I'm asking you is what categories do you want to do? Because you're not going to wake up and be like, I'm going to make cooking videos and then do a makeup tutorial and then a man on the street. And then all of a sudden I'm Superman and then I'm telling you about ants. Like what? There's no consistency there. Let's say you like doing fashion, right? Maybe you're doing try on hauls, comedy skits about fashion. Maybe you go to story times about fashion shows. I don't know. But you see, it still all falls into fashion, 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 fashion. Your content should either educate, entertain, inspire, or persuade someone to do something. And if it doesn't do any of those things, then you've got bad content. So let me use DRAX Social as an example. My content buckets are educational videos, which is the majority of what I do. DRAX Facts, I'm educating you right now. I'll then do entertaining videos where I'm doing skits about social media and making fun of it. And then I do memes because hello, who doesn't want to laugh at that? And then I do inspirational content where I sit there and go, you're cringe, deal with it. But you see, I have those content buckets. That's 4 pillars right there. Pillars, buckets, whatever you want to call it. So I have a clear defining outline on what I want to do, which makes it easier for me when I sit down and write content out because I'm not like, oh, what should I do today? It's like, okay, I look at the content buckets and I go, okay, which one should I make content about this round because I need to make more content about this. Boom. So today I decided to do an educational video for YouTube. Ta-da! You see how stress-free it is? I'm gonna give you another example that might throw you off a little bit, but it's a good test. My personal account is me doing Russian skits, but it also is me showing off my life and, sharing stories about it. If you were to ask anyone else, they'd be like, you need to niche down and figure it out. And it's like, for a personal brand, not as much because your personal brand is you. You want people to follow you for you. So my personal brand, I used to go back and forth about this a lot, but I realized people want to follow me and know my life and my story and where it all came from. So my content buckets for my personal brand is skits, because I like doing skits as characters, sharing stories about my life. Right now, I tore my ACL, so I'm currently on crutches. And so I've shared lots of stories about that and people love it. I also love fashion and outfits and that goes hand in hand with my skits. I do a lot of funny comedy fashion videos where I'm still showing off my cute outfits, but in a funny way. And then my last little content bucket is also collaborating with DRAX Social and sharing that I am an expert in social media. Now it might seem crazy to you guys, how could she do that? Well, I can, and I did, and it works. That's the difference between a personal brand and a brand. My personal brand, though, drives business to my brand. And I just want to preface real quick before you start stressing yourself out. We're making social media videos. We're not saving lives. Relax. Step 5, set up your branding. If your content looks inconsistent, people won't take you seriously. You want to have a brand that's instantly recognizable. That means having a defined look, maybe different fonts or colors that you use that people immediately recognize. I am a great example of that. I have branded myself with my hot pink and silver hair. I don't know which side is which. And my logo for DRAX Social is the pink, blue, and black and white color that is very recognizable. When you go to both of my account pages, both my personal and my DRAX Social page, you see all pink, comedy, crazy lifestyle on my personal page. And then on my DRAX Social page, you see the pink hair and the blue and pink consistent coloring and branding throughout the page. It's very obvious where it comes from. The font's the same, the videos are usually the same, everything is a consistent branding and it's super, super important that you do that. You wanna be recognized. It has gotten to the point now with my hair that anytime I'm at a shoot or anything like that, people will always come up to me and be like, oh my God, hey, you're the pink-haired girl that has a social media business, or you're the pink-haired girl that makes the TikToks, because I've made myself a recognizable brand. Now this doesn't mean that you have to go and dye your hair pink. I mean, you could, but I already got that covered. This just means that you need to just figure out a look, a branding, a style, fonts, colors for you, a brand that is relatable and that people want to come back and follow for more. For both the Surprise and the Paloma client, you can see that we use consistent fonts throughout every single video. The style of the video was the same. If we shot with a camera, we stayed shooting with a camera. There wasn't this like flop back and forth. However, that type of thing does work depending on who or what type of branding you are. But for this case, we shot with a phone because we wanted it to feel relatable. Shooting with a camera sometimes doesn't feel relatable, but the reason I'm shooting these on a camera is so that you will take me seriously. Because I feel like if I shot this with a phone for YouTube, you'd be like, wow, this person has no idea what they're doing. It's just a matter of how you want to come off. I got a fun story for you guys. Right before I blew up on TikTok with my Sasha brand, something had clicked in my head about branding. It finally made sense to me why branding matters so much. Think about people like Chappell Rowan or Kim Kardashian. The reason people follow these people and these celebrities and personal brands in mass quantities is because their branding is defined. You know, Kim Kardashian has this like luxurious, awesome lifestyle. She's always hot and glammed up. She's got her clothing brand and she's got her kids. And it's just like, you know what you're getting yourself into when you follow her. Same with Chappell Rowan. You know that she dresses extravagant, has all these crazy costumes and makes these music. You know that what you're getting into when you follow her. So for you, if you want to have a consistent brand that people are going to follow in mass quantities, you need to have a brand that is so defined, they literally want to follow for more. You know, when you're like, follow for more, these people will literally follow for more because they want to see more of this brand. Step 6. Time to shoot your content. So now that you've got a plan, let's bring it to life. Just to reel it back real quick, if you're making content for this brand new account and you think of ideas right away and you want to post them right away, don't. Because you need to make a whole plan and strategy for maybe 2 or 3 weeks from now. So that way you can film and have enough content to fill up the content calendar. So that way you don't just post a rush of content and stop. You wanna be consistent because that's what makes a brand grow. If you just do content stop, your followers are gonna be like, wait, what? You just totally blue-balled me with content. You gave me some and then took it away. So you wanna make sure that you stay consistent with it. Make sure that when you get to this part where you're creating content, you have written enough scripts for 1, 2, maybe even 3 weeks of content. Or you have multiple shoot days planned in a row. And creating content isn't just about hitting the record button, it's about the execution and the attitude and the vibe that you're bringing to your videos. And whether you have a team or you're shooting solo, you need to have a structure to your shoots. Yes, I have a team for DRAX Social and all the videos we do within our agency, but for the video I'm shooting right now, it's just me. But I still had to have a structure and make sure it is all following the plan. That's why this laptop is right here, so I can look at the script real quick and then say it back to you. And it looks fine in frame because I am a social media professional. So, here's how you properly execute a shoot day. 2 hours of shooting ain't gonna cut it. You're gonna need a whole day. You need to set aside a full day for production. 5 hours minimum. Some people maybe can knock out content way fast, but I can't. And you need to also take into account hair, makeup, your outfit, lighting, setup. That stuff takes hours, okay? Especially for us ladies. We gotta look nice on camera. Dedicate a full day to shooting content. Batch shoot as much content as you can. This YouTube video is probably gonna take up most of my day today, but that is okay. I do it for you guys. You also wanna make sure that you turn your phone on silent and turn all your Slack and Teams messages off, or else they're gonna distract you. It's even better if you have extra funds and you can hire an extra set of hands to record for you or help you set up lighting and, you know, maybe make the time go faster. But if you don't, you can do it yourself. I'm doing it myself. Literally for this shoot, I am the producer, talent, actor, scriptwriter, PA. Look, I even got myself my own coffee. And the last part about shooting content is make sure you're having fun with it. Because whatever niche or why or style of stuff you decide to film, you gotta actually enjoy it. I enjoy making these videos and educating. I enjoy doing my personal comedy skits. I enjoy it, which is why people like it, because they can feel that I enjoy it. But if making content feels like going to the dentist, then maybe you should reconsider what kind of content you're making. Step 7, editing. Editing is my least favorite part of this job, but hey, someone's gotta do it. I've now gotten to a place where I've hired a team of editors, but not everyone has that luxury, right? I'm not sitting here and telling you how to edit a video. We can do that in a whole nother section of a video. What I do want to tell you is that that one way that you have edited that video is not the only way. If you edit a video and it flops, then go back to the drawing board and re-edit it a different way. Because believe it or not, there are hundreds of thousands of infinite ways that you can edit one video, and a ton of them could go viral and a ton of them could flop and suck. I'll give you a little tip that we do over here at DRAX Social. If we're shooting videos for some of our clients, we'll go ahead and have them record a couple different versions of the hook. So that way we'll edit the same video with a different hook, because the first 3 seconds of your video are super, super important. Your hook can be anything from a visual hook, a talking hook, the text on screen, what you say on screen, but some hooks are relatable to more people than others. So let's say we edited a video with 4 different hooks, but it's the same exact video. The only thing that's different is the hooks. We use TikTok as the testing platform. We'll post the same 4 videos at the same time and let them develop over the next 24 to 48 hours. Whichever one of those 4 videos did better, that's the one we'll post to the rest of the platforms. However, now that we have 4 different videos, you never know, maybe the other ones will hit on different platforms. Usually the golden rule, and what I've seen work really well, is that if a video goes viral on one platform and it goes viral on the other, it'll probably go viral on all of them. When it comes to editing, if your video doesn't go viral the first time, re-edit it and post it again and again and again and again. Post the same one in trial reels. It's what I was talking about earlier in this video. Use trial reels on Instagram to your advantage. If you're unsure about a video or maybe it's cringe to you, post it on trial reels. If it starts to do well on trial reels, then you know you have a gold mine. Step 8. What to do after you post a video. Congratulations, you just posted a video, but you're not done. Now you have to actually be social on social media. What a concept. Instagram rewards engagement. That means you need to do more than just post and disappear. The golden rule right now is after you make a post, stick around for the first hour and reply to every single comment that comes in. Reply to it with a word or an emoji or anything like that. But the more people that comment on your video and you replying, the better. The most important thing someone can do when they watch your video is share it. Because how the algorithm works is when you post a video, the algorithm will show it to a small group of people. If that small group of people interacts with that video in the way that Instagram wants them to interact with it, which means sharing, commenting, liking, etc., in that order, then it will share it to a bigger group and a bigger group and a bigger group, and that's how videos go viral. So shares are the most important metric when it comes to posting content. So when you make your content, you need to think of ideas that are shareable. Will someone share this? Is this a video that I would share? I always think about that. If I make a video and I post it, is this something I would share on my Instagram story? Is this something I would share if someone else made? That's what you need to think about. And there you have it. If you just follow those 8 simple steps that take no time at all, you'll be able to grow a brand in no time. Trust me when I say that all this information that I just shared with you guys is the exact strategies that we use at DRAX Social and what I use for my personal brands and for all of our clients. Every single step that I have laid out and every single trial reel, ManyChat, etc., these are all things that I have laid out for every single one of our clients to do. If you don't believe me, let me share all of these case studies of all the clients that we've worked with and how they've gone viral. So if you're super serious about starting social media, specifically Instagram, for your brand or for your personal brand or for yourself, then you need to follow this blueprint. I'm literally giving this information away for free. This is what all of our clients pay for, and I'm telling it to you now. So all you need to do is implement these things. However, it's easier said than done, right? You could do it yourself, but it takes a lot of time. So that's why people hire us to do it for you. So if you're a brand or a personal brand looking to grow on social media and make content that actually converts and gets views and engagement and builds a community and sells your product, then either you need to follow this or you need to hire DRAX Social and we'll help you do it. If you have any questions about anything I talked about, or if I completely missed something, let me know in the comments and I'll reply back to you guys. But if you want more social media tips and tricks, hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on, and we'll see you next time. And make sure to follow DRAX Social on all platforms.